I think there are two key questions, Kirsten. One is that what went wrong and can you give please an explanation of the design of the network, why did it happen? And then obviously, how are you going to solve it? And the second question is, we've got national infrastructure from other providers. Is there a way how we can actually work together and see if in occasions like this, if we can utilize the other networks to help out?
Do you expect Kelly Bayer Rosmarin will be able to answer those questions?
Not at this point in time. I mean, she will defend herself, of course, and she will say that, this is just a hiccup. But we've seen these hiccups happening around the world more often, so it's a regular sort of thing. So I think, therefore, it's necessary to actually have more better systems that can better handle events like this.
What does it say to you about the redundancy Optus has or hasn't built into its network that a routine software outage was responsible?
Yeah, I think, that's a real problem. You will never, ever be able to stop everything. But, what you can do, if there are critical systems, failed systems, then you should have a duplication of that. So if one system goes down, you can quickly turn to the other system. These are IT systems, and you bypass the problem area, which you can fix later. So that's a key issue. Redundancy, duplication, that will be something that will have to be looked at.
At the height of the outage, the Optus CEO said it was highly unlikely a software outage was to blame. What's your view of Optus's own crisis response and management?
Yeah, the crisis response was very bad, as we saw also in September with the hacking response, and you would think that they would have learned from that. There doesn't seem to be a disaster plan in place. Even, there is not redundancy on a CEO and other executives who only have Optus phones. The technicians have access to Optus activities, so they've got problems in accessing the IT systems. So internally, you really will have to start looking at how is this working. On the other side, what is the oversight? We've seen these things happening around the world. We can expect them. We know what's happening. Where is the oversight? Where was the board? In order to double check on these sort of issues.
What layers of oversight into Optus's business should there be?
I think that a Australian board, would definitely help. I'm not saying it solves everything, but it's really looking at all the different elements. It's not one solution, it's a range of solutions. And one of the solutions is definitely this oversight, Australian board, perhaps less linked to Singtel in Singapore. These issues are all part of it. It's not a single one, but all of them together, will make the system more robust.
And given Optus was hit by a massive cyber hack last year, should there be severe financial penalties for failing to protect the network and the data it holds?
Yeah, I mean, it's estimated that the cost to the economy is around $400 million, and that is in line with international expectations if something like this happens, so that makes sense. This is an enormous amount of money. I'm really feeling very sorry for the small businesses, the coffee shops, etc., who could not accept electronic payment. They are the ones that are losing out. On the organizations, the big organizations, it's a wake-up call. You cannot just rely on one network. What is your redundancy at hospitals, at transport systems, at banks, etc.? So, this really is a wake-up call for everybody to start looking at that. How do you compensate for that? Big question. But yeah, it will cost the company money. There's no doubt about that.
Paul Budde, good to speak to you.
My pleasure.